Konnichiwa everybody, welcome back. Now, those of you probably aware who've been watching the channel a while, now about 18 months ago, 2 years ago maybe, I started collecting it for a full Wii U set. And then, whatever, 6 months or so later, I completed the set. And I don't know how I got into it really in the first place. I'd never collected a full set before, and it just came into my head that I fancied it, going for a full set of something. And the fact with the Wii U was, I'd already got I'd had my Wii U from new, and I'd got a decent collection. I'd got all like the Nintendo first party games mainly, and a few others. So I'd got the basis of the full set, if you like. And because I fancied going for a full set, there was only 161 in the Wii U, and I'd got like, I don't know, we'll say 40 to start with. So, I'd only got to get like 120 for the full set. For argument's sake, it might have been 100. It was, it wasn't like a massive mountain to climb. So that's kind of how I set out initially, thinking I'm going to go for the full set. And I've got to say, I really enjoyed it. It got really addictive. And, chasing down the games, trying to get the ones that were hard to get. And there was definitely a compulsion to it, and a feeling of, I've got to get over that finish line. And when I finally got there, I've got to say, it did feel good. But then, in the years and months since, or months and years, whichever way you want to put it, the collection's sitting there. I'm not playing it really. I just, it's in my mind. I know it's there, should I want to. But as time goes on, then you start thinking to yourself, I don't know if I should have collected that really. It was a bit mad. So I don't regret collecting it now, because I'll always have that experience of buying a full set of something. Yeah, it's not like a Mega Drive set or wherever else you could go for, but it was just a full set. So I don't regret buying it, but I have thought since, and increasingly more recently, should I move it on? Having done it, I've got no interest in playing sort of 70-80% of the games on it, if I'm honest. So it just seems silly having it lying around when I could be putting the money to something I actually would like, because there's stuff I would like and I haven't got the funds. So this would be a good way of sort of creating some funds to buy what I actually would like in the collection and use, because everything I buy, I don't buy like shelf filler or any kind of crap in my eye. You might think it's crap, fair enough, I don't mind. One man's crap's another man's treasure. But I only buy stuff I want to play. So primarily this is superfluous to my needs, and so it could go in favour of stuff I actually do want. So anyway, that's kind of my quandary at the moment. So I'd watched Clint's video last week, and he'd sort of priced up his Master System set, and that kind of gave me the idea for doing this video. So I'll say thanks, Clint, for giving me this idea. So as you can tell from the title, what I've done, I've worked it all out. I've wrote all the Wii U games down on a big list, and I've worked out what they're worth in CEX as a cash price, CEX as a voucher price, and then what they might be worth on eBay to sell them yourself. Obviously CEX is a business. They're not going to give you full market value. They've got to make their profit. They've got bills to pay. The way of the world, that's the way it is. I've never traded anything into CEX myself. I don't see why I should give them the pleasure of money when I could make it myself by selling it on eBay. But each to their own. Some people haven't got the time for messing about with eBay, and eBay can be a pain in the arse. So I totally get that. Or you might get yourself a table at an event and sell that way. That's possibly the best way to go about it. But anyway, just for argument's sake, and you know, an easy comparison, we're going eBay cash price, eBay voucher price, and then a potential sale price on eBay. And I've based the eBay prices on sort of the lowest buy it now prices at the moment. Obviously this is all speculative because eBay prices change on a weekly basis and CEX prices change on a weekly basis, so this time next week all this is irrelevant. But for this moment in time and for my thought process, it was a useful exercise. So all this is only correct as of July 2023. So I think I'm not going to go through all the 161 games because we'll be at hours. So, you know, don't worry, I'll spare you that. I'm just going to pick out a few highlights that have cropped up to me through going through this process. Oh, and one thing I want to say is all these prices that I've worked out are based on single game prices. There are obviously quite a few on the Wii U which come in special editions or boxed with, you know, figures or, you know, big box style games, but CEX don't list a lot of this stuff. And there are also some games on the full PAL list that EX don't list and don't stock. So we will run through them. But like I say, all these are based primarily on just single games. Now all mine are complete with manuals where they are applicable. All games don't come with manuals, but obviously when you're buying from CEX, it's a lottery and a lot of them may not have manuals. So in that case, again, you're going to get more money on eBay because if you're listing it as complete, you know, people who are wanting to buy this stuff to collect it, they're going to want it complete. So, you know, the money is always going to be with eBay where the most value is. So that's just a given. But, you know, this is just a comparison. So, my basic quandary is, by going through this process, is should I sell the lot, should I sell part of the set, or should I just keep it and sit on it a bit longer? And who knows what, you know, all this, because the Wii U was a flop and because it was a small set, these games could be worth astronomical figures, you know, 20 years in the future. Who knows? You know, none of us, you know, the planet might have exploded in 20 years. Who the hell knows? This is all just a bit of a laugh, really. Right, so CEX prices, obviously the cash price is the least because they're giving you money. The voucher price is better, and then obviously the eBay price will be, it can be the similar price to CEX sell it for, but it can be less, can be more. It does vary. So I'm just going to pick out now a few that have, of the 161 games in the full set, that have sort of worth mentioning for whatever reason. The first one of these is Adventure Time. Now there's two of these Adventure Time games. This one's called Explore the Dungeon because I don't know. Now this one is quite tricky to find. It's not a common game, but eBay actually give you quite good money for this in comparison with what it's worth. They'll give you 27 cash, 40 on a voucher, and it's only really worth about 50 quid on eBay. So in this instance, CEX is offering really quite good money for this. Better than you might expect, to be honest. Then kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, we've got Angry Birds Trilogy. Now this isn't that common. Again, there's two Angry Birds games. The other one is quite common. This one isn't. But CEX will only give you £9 cash or £13 voucher. Yet it's probably worth around 60 quid on eBay. So CEX are vastly underselling that one, I would say. Next one we've got is Ben 10 Omniverse 2. Now CEX are offering, again this is similar to the Adventure Time game, they're offering decent money for this, to be honest. They'll give you 13 cash, 20 on a voucher, and it's probably only worth about 23 quid on eBay. So again, eBay, I'm mixing the two up now. CEX are offering good money for that as well. I've got all this written down, obviously I can't remember all this, so if I'm looking down a lot, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Then the next thing I wanted to point out was the Disney Infinity games. Now CEX on the app list them as being complete sets with the figures and the portal and all that. But realistically, if you went and bought one from eBay, when I was buying this set, I was looking for stuff like this. You go in eBay and it'd just be like a loose game and the loose figures that don't actually come complete in the big box with all the packaging. So the values there are largely irrelevant in my opinion. They'll only give you 2 and 3 quid for the Disney Infinity games, but that's as a complete price. So you can just imagine if you'd got the complete box, big box with all the figures and the portal in the packaging, CEX is still only giving you 3 quid according to the app. Now realistically it's worth a load more than that, because there ain't many of them big box complete copies around. When I was buying my full set, I did buy the full box set of every one of those sort of Skylanders, Disney Infinity sets, and the Lego Dimensions. They're all the same. CEX list them as being complete with all the figures. But like I say, because they're a rare thing to come across fully boxed up, that's a bit of an anomaly, and it's hard to judge really true value on CEX with that, because 9 times out of 10 they ain't going to be complete in the box. But the single games on their own, I mean, they're worthless. They're like 2 quid, they're worth nothing. Right, the next one I want to point out, actually I will mention this. Now this was quite difficult to get when I was collecting my set. It's not a particularly common game, and it goes for mad money in America for the NTSC version. But the price of this one doesn't seem to have gone up as much as you might expect. It's still only worth, if I can find it, yeah, it's still only worth 21 quid cash in CEX, 32 on a voucher, and it's worth about 60 on eBay, which is obviously still a fair amount of money, but to be honest I was expecting this one to have gone up a lot more, in line with the American price really. I could have imagined this was worth 100 now, but it isn't. So you live and learn, don't you? Right, then the next one I want to point out is one of the big hitters on the Wii U, and we've got Finding Teddy 2. Now obviously mine's sealed, as most of them are. None of them are opened when you look at buying any. But this is another one where where CEX will offer you decent money, because they will offer you 136 cash, 157 on a voucher, and realistically it's probably worth about 200 quid on eBay. So although there's more money on eBay, CEX are offering you decent money for that, to be honest. Now the next one I want to point out is Fit Music, because CEX don't list this one, because as far as I'm aware it's like a European PAL game only. So that isn't part of the CEX prices at the end, because they don't list it. There are a few like that. Right, next up I haven't got it to show you. I have got the full box set, but Guitar Hero comes with a guitar, and they're on loads of consoles. But on the CEX app, they list it with the guitar, and they'll only give you 3 quid cash or 5 quid on a voucher. I mean, ridiculous. It's probably worth about 40 quid on eBay complete. So that's just madness. Right, the next one is another one that CEX don't list on the app, and that's Hunter's Trophy. I don't know why, because you can get this PAL. Mine's the German copy. But for whatever reason CEX don't list that on the app. So that's not part of the prices at the end. And in a similar vein, this is the same. They don't list this. Again, I think it's a European PAL game. It's a Sedesco game. Love me buddies. I mean, it's an awful game, but you've got to have it if you want the full set. This has gone up quite a lot since I bought it. I think it's probably about doubled in value. Worth about 80 quid on eBay, that one. Love me buddies. Then the next one we've got is, yes, now this is another one. CEX sell massively underpriced. That's One Piece Unlimited World Red. It's not a common game. It wasn't common when I was buying, and I still don't see many about now. But CEX will only give you £10 cash or 15 on a voucher, and realistically it's probably worth about 60 quid on eBay. So there's there's no thought process there. eBay's your friend. Right, then the next one, I'll just mention this actually. Need for Speed Most Wanted. Now this was quite pricey and quite uncommon when I was collecting. There seems quite a lot of them about now, so I don't know if somebody's found a few boxes of them. Because it was probably a £50-60 game for the UK version when I bought it. But this has come down quite a lot, and it's now only worth £6 cash in CEX, £9 voucher, and it's only worth about 20 quid on eBay. So I've lost out on that one, to be honest. That's a bit of a weird. There's not many like that, but that's a bit of a weird one. Right, then the next one is another one. It's not uncommon, it's not hard to get, but it's a pricey one, and that's Project Zero. Now this is the kind of thing I was talking about, where you can get some games in large sort of big boxes. This comes with like an art book and a steel book in the game. When I was looking to buy this, there was quite a few in stock at CEX, and there was quite a few within sort of 100-mile area of where I live. And one day I drove around all the shops who'd got one in stock, thinking, well, there's bound to be a good one amongst them. And there wasn't one that was complete, proper, as it should be. So again, although they're listing them as being sort of this set on the website, as I remember, when you get to the shop, realistically, sometimes I found the game in the steel book without the proper game. Sometimes there was no cardboard outer packaging. So, you know, if you can find that complete in a CEX, I'd say you're doing well. I can't see it ever being a cheap game, and it has gone up in price since I bought it. But CEX will now offer you 52 cash or 63 voucher on Project Zero, allegedly in that form. But like I say, I didn't find one. I eventually bought mine off eBay. I put an offer in on someone who was selling it, and they accepted, luckily. But anyway, realistically now, it's probably gone up 50% in value. I think I paid around 100 for it, and it's now realistically worth about 160 on eBay. So again, it's a no-brainer. Right, the next one is another one eBay don't list because they don't. It's an Australian PAL exclusive, and this is one of the hardest. Well, that's not quite the right word. One of the most difficult games to get for the PAL set, purely because they're nearly always in Australia, and I had to import mine from Australia to get it. And that's Scribble Notes Unmasked. Like I say, it's an Australian PAL exclusive, and it's around, I think I paid around 900 quid for it, and it's still around that now. So it hasn't gone up in price. It makes you laugh because in America, this is worth absolutely nothing. It's like a $5 game. You know, it's just craziness that just because it's an Australian PAL exclusive, but you've got to have it, a full set. But like I say, CEX down listed, so again, that's not part of the final value at the end. Then the next one we've got is the other limited edition pixel heart game, which is the Shmup collection. Now CEX do list this, and to be honest, they're off again, like Finding Teddy, they're offering good money for this, really. They'll give you 123 cash, 142 on a voucher, and on eBay it's probably worth about 170. So again, it's not a bad deal in CEX really. That's the Shmup collection. Right, next one I want to highlight is, yeah, this one, Sonic Boom. Now this is another one that CEX are underselling. It's not massively, but when you think about CEX prices, you know, a cash price, it's probably a third of its value at best. You know, and the voucher price is probably third to half of its value maybe. But anyway, they'll offer you £5 cash for this, or £7 voucher. But it's worth about 23 quid on eBay, so again, that's quite undervalued in CEX in my opinion. I'm not saying it's a great game, don't brush out and buy it. Modern Sonic games are total shit in my opinion, but each to their own. Right, then the next one I want to highlight is SpongeBob SquarePants, Plankton's Robotic Revenge. Now this isn't a common game, and although you can get it, it's not like incredibly rare. There aren't many about. It was about a £40 game when I bought it, I think, from memory. And I don't know, it's only 15 quid cash in CEX, and it's 23 on a voucher. It's probably worth about 45 on eBay, so it's not gone up massively in value. But if you are after the full set, I would try and get that, to be honest, because there ain't many about. Right, then the next one is Star Fox. Now this is another one of these in the big box, and if you've got it in this form, it does make quite a bit of difference to the value. CEX list this as all three like that. They'll list a single game, and then this is Star Fox, and you also get another game called Star Fox Guard in this box, as well as a steelbook, plus the cardboard outer. But anyway, they'll only offer 2 quid on that, just the standard game, but it's not bad, and they'll offer 3 quid voucher, but it's only worth about 7 quid on eBay. You know, the standard game on its own is pretty worthless. Star Fox Guard is worth quite a bit more. They'll offer 12 quid for that, just on its own, or 18 quid voucher. And realistically, it's only 20 quid on eBay. So again, that's not a bad price for Star Fox Guard in CEX. They'll offer 27 quid for it as a full set, as cash, or 40 on a voucher, and it's probably worth about 60 on eBay, complete like this. So it's a bit of a funny one, that, because of its constituent parts, it's worth far more if you've got the full set like that, which you might expect really. Right, now the next one I want to mention is, now this is quite a rare game, and it's Tank. And for my money, this is possibly the best reason to own a Wii U. This is absolutely fantastic game. This is it's a Namco arcade conversion, and it's basically, you control like a little tank, and it's kind of an arena combat style game where you've got to destroy the other tanks, kind of like Virtual On, but you're in a tank. Absolutely brilliant game, exclusive on the Wii U. So for me, this is definitely the #1 reason to own a Wii U. I know it's niche, but for me, that is absolutely the best reason. And it's not a common game. This has also gone up quite a lot. This is one of my original. I didn't have to buy this when I decided to go for the full set. I'd already got this. I bought this way back when. However, CEX will offer you £21 cash or £32 on a voucher. Yet it's worth about 70 quid on eBay now, and I can only see this going up. So again, if you're a Wii U collector, I would definitely buy Tank if you haven't got it already. Then what else we got? Lost my place on my list. Right, yeah, this is another one. We've got the Crudes. Now this is another one that CEX are really offering good money on. Again, it's not a common game. You don't see that many about, but they'll offer £31 cash and £47 on a voucher. And realistically, it's only worth about 55 quid on eBay, so they're offering strong money for that. So I'm assuming they must be selling it. I haven't got that road down, but if they're offering 47 on a voucher, they must be selling that for like 80 quid plus, I'd imagine. And like I say, it's only 55 quid on eBay, so they're offering strong money for that. I mean, it's like a party game. It's nothing to shout about, but you know, you've got to have it, haven't you, if you need the full set or want the full set. Right, we're nearly there now. The next one I want to talk about is The Walking Dead. Now, this is like a zombie horror style game, obviously. I think it's on the Xbox and the PlayStation as well. However, not that common on the Wii U again. I mean, there's a lot of games on the Wii U which are dead common and they're more or less worthless. Like all the Nintendo first party games, because they've been put on the Switch, 90% of them, everything on the Wii U is pretty much worthless. With the odd exception, like stuff what's still exclusive to the Wii U, like the 2 Zelda games are still worth big money on the Wii U. Because crazily they ain't put the HD versions on the Switch. I don't know why. God knows. You'd have expected them to do it by now. Anyway, this is another one that it's never been common since I've been collecting, and it was around, I think it was around 40 or 50 quid when I bought it. However, time has not been kind to this if you want to buy it now, because CEX will offer you £46 cash or 56 on a voucher, yet it's worth about 100 quid on eBay. So this is more than double since I've bought it, like in the last 2 years. So again, that might be one you want to try and grab if possible. And then we've got another one that's not particularly common. Now this is a Nintendo first party game, obviously, Wii Sports Club, exclusive to the Wii U, obviously an expanded Wii Sports to highlight the use of the tablet. Mine's actually still sealed, so that obviously makes mine worth a bit more, but regardless of that, you know, if you disregard that being sealed, CX don't offer much for this, to be honest. They only offer 11 cash or 17 on a voucher, yet it's probably worth at least 50 on eBay, you know, for an open one. So being sealed, obviously this one's worth a bit more, but they're underselling or underpricing that one in my opinion. And then the penultimate one I want to talk about is Wii Fit U. Now this is another strange one because obviously it comes in a big box. This comes with like a Wii Fit, like a pedometer meter thing you can strap to your wrist. And CEX will list this as with or without the meter. But obviously, if they have the one with the meter in stock, you can guarantee it ain't going to come in the nice original cardboard box because it's quite thin and flimsy. However, they'll offer £4 for the standalone game or 13 with the meter cash, or they'll offer £6 voucher or £20 voucher with the meter. Yet, standalone game on eBay is probably worth 30 quid. Being boxed up in nice condition with the meter, there's none on there presently, so you know you're probably talking 800 quid on eBay for that, and you know CEX are offering 20 quid, so that's kind of way undervalued as well in my opinion. Then the last one I want to talk about is the most difficult game to get on the Wii U. It was the last game I bought. It's an absolute bugger of a game to find if you want the UK version. There's a fair few out there European, like you can get Italian, Spanish, German versions. But if you want the actual UK version, good luck to you. I chanced upon it quite by, well not by accident, but I was lucky. I found it in a big bundle. I bought a massive Wii U console with a load of games and it was part of that, and I bought that solely for this game. and that is Zumba World Party. I mean, it's a total pile of steaming brown stuff, and you are never ever going to play it. It is total poo. But if you want a full set, you've got to have it. And again, this comes in two forms. It comes in like the standard regular box, and it comes in a nice cardboard box with a like belt strap thing. I got the standalone game. It didn't come with the big box and the belt, so I bought a brand new American one, stuck my PAL game in the American box, so in effect I've got a brand new American outer cardboard box and belt, and I've got the PAL UK game inside this. This is crazily rare if you want to find this fully. The only difference between the American and the PAL is the age rating. You've got an E on the American one, and you've got like there'll be like a like a 7 on the PAL one. That's the only difference in the box. But like I say, the regular PAL version, what you can get from Europe, which is reasonably easy to attain, that's probably only 30-50 quid game. CEX will offer you £75 for just the game, or they'll offer you £91 on a voucher just for the game. On eBay, just for the game, not this big box version, just for the game, you're probably talking 250 quid just for the Zumba game, if it's the UK variant. Like I say, a European variant, that's probably only 30 to 50 quid. But the UK one is an absolute bugger to find. Good luck to you if you're after that, because you could lose all the hair you've got trying to find it. So they're all the individual games I wanted to talk about. So all that brings me on to now is the total values. And the CEX cash value of all the games they've got listed, and I think there are 4 which aren't listed because, for whatever reason, primarily because they're European or Australian PAL games. I think that there's 4 or 5 that CEX don't list. So for all the others, CEX will offer on a cash price, these are all the single game values, no big box values. For the full set, they will currently offer, as of July 2023, £1,372.90. So just shy of 1,400 quid. So the voucher price, if you wanted to part exit and have no money and just have vouchers, again, all single game prices, no big box variants. They will offer on a voucher £1,913.40. So there's a 530 quid difference there between a voucher price and the cash price. So then that brings me on to an approximate valuation on eBay. Again, these are based on single game prices, not big box versions. The only difference being that the 4 or 5 games which CEX don't list on their app, so you couldn't trade them in there should you even want to. But that's probably, if that makes a difference of 400 quid, say, that's as much as it's going to make. So the eBay price, I've based it on the lowest buy it now prices, at which you could reasonably expect to sell them all for, as of, like I say, July 23. So on eBay, my approximation of the value of the entire Wii U collection in single game form would be £4,079, which is more than double the CEX voucher price, and it's approximately £2,700 more than the CEX cash price. So I just thought that was quite interesting, really. CEX has got the advantages in many ways, obviously, but those are the cash prices of the three options. We've got £1,372 CEX cash, we've got £1,913 CEX voucher, and we've got £4,079 approximate value selling on eBay. So, what do you think of that? And what should I do? I'm still a bit on the fence. Should I sell the lot? I'm unlikely to do that, I think, to be honest, because like I say, I've had some of this from brand new, and I don't think I would do that. The larger question is, should I sell part of the collection, the part of it which I've got no interest in playing, and I could then use that money to buy other stuff? Or should I keep the lot, you know, a little bit longer, or, you know, 20 years longer, and it might be worth, who knows, it could be worth 10 grand. How long's a piece of string? So there's my quandary, really, but I thought that was an interesting little exercise. Let me know what you think anyway, and thanks for watching. Sayonara.